Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. In this video, I'm going to be doing a quick review of the Rocketbook Everlast Smart Notebook. And as usual, I'm going to start with the conclusion, then I will talk about the features, the two main features behind it, then I'll talk about some of the weaknesses, and then we'll end by doing a little giveaway of a few copies of this Rocketbook Everlast notebook. Before we get started, I just want to mention that this is a sponsored review, but whenever I do sponsored reviews, I make it clear to the brand that it's going to be my own unadulterated opinion. I'm not going to let them tell me what to say, if that makes sense. But to be honest, there's nothing that you or them needs to worry about because I actually really like this. And so the upfront conclusion is that yes, this is worth the money that you pay for it. It's got two main features that are its sort of selling points. The first and most important one in my opinion, it's like a smart notebook. And I put smart in inverted commas because it's an analog notebook, but every page has like a little QR code on it. And you've also got these little icons that you can program to do whatever you want. So for example, what I've done is I've set the first icon that whenever I shade in this particular box, so if I were to shade this in, and then I scan the page using the Rocketbook iPhone app, and they've got apps for every platform, what it does is that it recognizes that I've shaded this icon in, and that automatically sends the page as a scan straight into my Evernote inbox. And this is a really nice workflow because for someone like me who's essentially gone paperless, but I still kind of like writing in physical notebooks, as I discovered earlier when I started writing in this Leuchtturm 1917 analog notebook. It's nice writing in physical notebooks, but I want all the benefits of paperless, i.e. I want my notes to be searchable and to be archived and to have a copy on the cloud, all that sort of stuff. This just makes it super easy to sync stuff to Evernote or to OneDrive or Google Drive or OneNote or whatever other service you want to use. And this is how that synchronization thing works. So essentially you would go on the Rocketbook app and you then hit new scan and you would scan your page. Here we go. Processing, next, send. And that's automatically just in like 2 taps, it automatically goes to Evernote because I've highlighted this particular box. So that's kind of the main selling point behind it. And secondly, it's called the Rocketbook Everlast because the idea is that it lasts forever. Once you've finished using up all the pages, all you have to do is get a microfiber cloth, which is supplied in the package, wet it a little bit so it's a bit damp, and then you can wipe and the ink just comes right off. In fact, I'm gonna try that right now. Hold the line. So I've got here the microfiber Rocketbook branded cloth. So I'm gonna try and get rid of the stuff on this page. Oh, there we go. Look at that. I'm just literally wiping it away and it's all just disappearing. So now I just have to let it dry briefly and then I'll be able to reuse this entire page. Oh, this is so cool. This is like magic.
There's no such thing as magic.
So those are the two main features behind it, but I think if you want to invest in a notebook, it should be a pleasurable experience to write on. And the thing that I'm comparing this to is my trusty Leuchtturm 1917 notebook, and I really loved the experience of writing on this because it was just so nice, and I would be like planning out emails and planning out videos and stuff. I was surprised to find that it's actually the same with the Rocketbook. Like it's a different sort of feel of paper. Like you can imagine, this paper is waterproof, so it doesn't feel flimsy like normal paper. It feels slightly laminated, but I was surprised by how nice the experience was of writing on this. So if I just kind of do a bit of doodling, the ink flows across the page with slightly less resistance than it does in a physical notebook. Like in a physical notebook, if you were to, you can probably hear the scratchy sound. But doing the same thing on the Rocketbook, there isn't really a scratchy sound. And so the experience of writing in the Rocketbook, it is slightly different to a normal notebook, but it is nice because it's very free flowy, it's very smooth, which meant that earlier yesterday when I was testing this out and when I was like planning out various videos, I just found myself sort of like, free writing and just kind of going along. Because it felt like I was like making progress. And that's a nice feeling to have in a notebook because then it encourages us to write in it more. And in terms of drawbacks, I think the only major drawback is that you don't really get the romanticism of something like this. Like the reason I like writing in this one is because once I've finished it up, then I can stick a sticker on the spine, I can archive it, I can say, early 2019 or whatever. And over time, over a 10-year period, I'll have like, a ton of these books and it would just be a cool like memento to look at. You don't really get that with a notebook that you're going to keep on reusing. It's kind of like the difference between a Kindle and physical books. Like physical books give you a bit more romanticism. It gives you a bit more like, oh, I've got these books across my bookshelf. I like the feel of a notebook in my hand. Whereas I'm a big evangelist for the Kindle because I think that the benefits of a Kindle, namely the fact that you can highlight stuff, the fact that you can take it with you wherever, you've got unlimited books, etc., all those things that I've made videos about before. I think all those benefits outweigh the lack of romanticism in a Kindle. And there's not really much romanticism in the Rocketbook Everlast. Like it's a notebook, but it's very utilitarian. Like, you know, you use it, you sync it to Evernote, and then you delete the page, essentially. Oh, and something I forgot to mention, the Rocketbook comes in different sizes. So it's got this pocket mini version, and there's this sort of normal sized version. I'll be honest, I don't really have any use for this, but for example, if I were a medical student and on the wards, and you know, when you're on the ward, it's useful to carry a piece of paper with you so that if you come across a condition like, I don't know, Tangier's disease, you would kind of write down in your little notebook, Tangier's disease. And then when you get home, you can then look it up. A lot of medical students carry similar sized notebooks to this, but this is just nice because it's a lot thinner than most of the ones people carry, and you know, it's reusable, and you don't really have a need to, you know, look at this stuff again once you've already synced it to Evernote and once you've looked up what Tangier's disease is. All right, so that brings us to the end of the video. Before wrapping up, I just want to mention the giveaway that we're doing. So if you fancy getting one of these, you can use my coupon code, which will be linked in the video description and with links in the video description, and that'll give you like a 10% discount. But 4 lucky winners, I'm going to be sending one of these to with like you know, the pen and the set and stuff. If you want to win that, just comment something down below on the YouTube video. Comment like whatever you want, but please include your Instagram username so that I'll randomly pick 4 people and I'll message you asking for your address, and then we will mail out these Rocketbook Everlast notebooks to you, and then you can start using them and start going paperless with your notes in a semi-analog format. So yeah, thanks for watching. If you like this video, I'll put a video over there or over there somewhere. That'll be a video about how I take notes on my iPad Pro in medical school, so you might gain some tips about how to go paperless if you haven't seen that already. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.